first video tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about the NVIDIA Optimus technology. You may or may not have heard about it. It's something that isn't really that new, but it's starting to become more prominent anyways in the industry. So just want to give a quick overview of what it is, what it does, and how to manipulate some of the settings to get the best experience possible. So first, let's go ahead and talk about what it is. NVIDIA Optimus is a technology that allows you to switch from one graphics processor to another seamlessly without having to reboot your computer or anything. What it basically does is you'll have an Intel integrated chip, which is found in most laptops these days, even found on a lot of desktops. You'll have that, and then you'll also have a higher power NVIDIA, possibly a GeForce processor, which would be for games and the higher end applications like Photoshop, things like that. Through software and drivers, the Optimus technology decides which of the two to use. So if it's using the Intel processor, it completely shuts down the NVIDIA processor, which saves power, which means that you get longer battery life and better performance. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the settings here. We'll go down to our notification panel, and you'll see the NVIDIA settings, which is present with most NVIDIA cards. Just the settings inside here will be a little bit different from maybe what you've seen before. So we go over a couple of these settings, what they do, and why you may or may not want to use them. So the first one is going to be the preferred graphics processor here. You can see currently I have it set to auto select, which that means that the driver and software will decide whether to use one card or the other depending on the application. The software looks at, let's say, a game to see if it calls for any DirectX libraries, things like that, to make a decision on whether it would be beneficial to use the NVIDIA card over the Intel card. You can change this setting to high performance NVIDIA processor or the integrated graphics. If you were to select high performance NVIDIA processor, that means that anytime that you run an application, it's going to run it with the NVIDIA processor. Probably not a good idea because you'll be wasting power, things like that. Also, you could set it to just use the integrated graphics, which I have seen in some cases many individuals choose this option, and then they force it to use the NVIDIA processor only when they want it to. And we'll get to that in a minute and how you can set that up. So then we go along to the desktop drop down here, and you'll see that I have these last two selected, which are Add Run with Graphics Processor to the context menu, and Display GPU Activity icon in the notification area. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these two mean and what they do. First, we'll start with Run with Graphics Processor to the context menu. So for example, if I were to right-click on Google Chrome, I'll have this option here, Run with Graphics Processor. And then I can choose which one I want to run with. If I want to force it to use the NVIDIA processor, or if I want to go with the default one for this application, which would be the integrated Intel chip. So let's go ahead and choose to run it with the NVIDIA processor. Now, once the application loads up, then we can come down here and take a look at our notification area, and we have this little icon. That was the other option that was in the desktop drop-down in the NVIDIA settings application. You can see that it says NVIDIA GPU Activity 1 program. So if we click it, it shows us what application is currently using the NVIDIA processor. And of course we see that it's Chrome there. So let's go ahead and close Chrome. And let's run it with the integrated Intel. Go back to our notification panel. And we see that it says None, meaning that there are no applications currently using the NVIDIA processor. So if I just double click on it and let the software make its own decision, we can see, of course, that it chose not to use the NVIDIA card. Really, that's about it for the settings. It's pretty straightforward, but I just want to give a little bit of an explanation of what each one does and why you should use it. You may notice also that with YouTube videos, that sometimes the applications will use the NVIDIA card because it feels that it can provide a better experience for your video. Same thing may happen with other applications. Maybe if you're watching a DVD, things like that, you may see that happen. If you don't want it to use it, like I said, you can right-click on it and tell it which one to use if that's the case. So, thanks for watching the video today. Geekpass.com, make sure you check it out. There's an article on there about these Optimus technology and some other great things that you might want to check out. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.